Not like a regular mom. I'm a cool mom. Mom.
Hey, cool moms.
Hey, cool moms.
Yeah. So, welcome back. Really excited to be back in my happy place, which is, Leaf, which one is my camera? It's okay. Really happy to be back in my happy place here with cool moms. This week, I'm excited, one, because this is a crossover episode. Is this like breaking the fourth wall? I don't know. This is a crossover episode. We're going to do things a little bit differently. This is a Cool Moms and Birthrights collab episode. So this is like you're on FaceTime with us.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're listening into this storytelling series.
Yeah.
I love that.
So normally I talk to y'all, but I'm going to talk to Synmia now because I want to tell you about my week.
Yes, please.
This week in motherhood.
I haven't spoken to you all week. I feel like it's been a crazy week.
Yeah.
And we've been texting and sending each other little pictures of what we've been doing, but I haven't gotten the tea.
Yes, I will give it to you.
Okay.
I was saying
ready.
before we started recording how much I was going to share, and then I always share everything because I don't know how to shut up. So,
Yeah. I'm an oversharer.
I'm an
learning.
oversharer. Yeah.
We're learning.
Do we both have Gemini rising?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We do.
That's the that's the
Oh my
oversharing
gosh.
us.
And I'm a Cancer, so I'm ready to just spill it all out.
Yeah. I really hate my job. That's first things first. I am keeping my therapist in business and busy because Leaf. You said it right before, and it's you. It's fine. It's okay. Naughty boy. So yeah, I hate my job, which is like not surprising, and a lot of people here could probably understand. I've decided that I'm going to speak really frankly about this job because by the time these episodes come out, I'll be gone.
Yes, girl.
Because episode 1, I talk shit, and I'm still talking shit. It's like, girl, leave. Fuck. But I have bills to pay. So I've been talking to my therapist, and she thinks that my job is really cult-like and toxic. And so
It is.
I know.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too.
I do have to say that I've learned so much from you on how to take things on the chin professionally with a smile. And you do the thing, right? You're not like obviously you're dishing it now, but you're not like you're not a complainer. So it's been very inspiring to see how you take chaos and difficulty and how you manage it, and you are like sitting on business, you know? So I'm proud of you.
Thank
I know
you.
It's tough, but
I appreciate that. You said chaos and I got triggered.
I mean, is it not?
Yeah, it is. Literally. I told y'all when I started therapy, I was probably gonna be a person that's like, so my therapist said, but one of my last therapy sessions, she was like, so I want us to talk to chaos and I want us to ask what chaos wants from us.
I like her.
And us being
already.
me. And I was like, I don't know. How do we go about
leave?
this? What?
Yeah.
How will I function without chaos? So, okay.
So what did she say? What did you say to chaos? What was the first thing?
I felt goofy. I didn't know what to say. And then I was like, okay, well, what do you want from me? And I think it was essentially like, I just want to be able to keep it together and I want to keep going. I think that's the big thing. It's like, how will I keep going if I don't have this like chaotic, manic, obsessive energy? How will I reach the goal? Like, what if I just fall off?
But you probably will, because that's what chaos. I mean, I feel like, okay, this is what I mean. So as someone who leans into chaos, for some reason, my life is very chaotic. It's always been chaotic.
This is why we're friends.
Tried to do so many things to create. I have my meditation. I have all my tools. I live in a mountain town where it's quiet and I can hear mice like fart and discuss things, you know? So I've definitely removed myself from chaos. That does not mean chaos has not found its way close to me, living next door to me, living down the street from me. However, I feel like when you are working with chaos, it is a very different thing, right? And no matter what you can do to stay on top of it, to create organization, rhythm, rituals, whatever you need to do to kind of hold space for that and also give tools to like unravel the chaos. When you're working with that, sometimes I feel like there's like no means to an end, right? No matter what you do, chaos is still going to be.
I mean, yes, because life can be chaotic, right? But I think for me, it's about not inviting the chaos too much.
Right.
Like, I would like to know myself sans chaos. Who is she? What is she like? How does she function?
How does she relax?
Is she fun?
Yeah.
She's fun with chaos.
I feel that.
You know, I've been talking to a new person, and this new person, one of the first things they said was, well, asked me. It was like, are you a bit chaotic? And I was like, fuck. So obviously this
depends on what you mean.
Isn't it fun? But yes, that happened. We're working through with chaos. Anxiety is a real thing. I'm seeking and getting the help that I need slowly but surely.
Yeah.
Also, on a different note, on a more fun note, it is Scorpio season.
Oh.
I thought everyone would be more excited about that.
Whoa.
God,
you know what?
y'all.
I feel like
y'all must be Scorpio haters. Don't be that way.
I just feel like October really whooped everybody's ass. I feel like October was a real one. It was chaotic. It was fun. It was reassuring. It was tiring. It was restful. It was just all the things, all in. We're not even, tomorrow's the 31st. We haven't even made it to the whole, like, it hasn't even come to a head yet. I feel like everyone I talk to just have bags under their eyes, but smiles on their faces, and like really trying to hold it together with whatever they've got lying around. So it's not that we're not excited for Scorpio season, because that is my rising. Is it my rising?
I think so.
No, it's my moon. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's intense.
It's my Scorpio moon.
That's a lot.
Yes.
Okay.
So I feel you, but I feel like it's hard to be excited about anything.
No.
In the month of October.
Okay.
I'm going to just be honest.
I don't feel that way. It was my birthday week. I was really fucking excited. I am ageless. Thank you. I am at the age doesn't matter anymore. Mind your business. I look good.
Yes.
I feel good.
Don't ask questions.
Don't ask questions.
Yes.
So yeah, I was really excited to kick off Scorpio season for my birthday. I went to the spa.
How was that? You never see. I didn't get
an update.
We didn't get
How was
your spa day?
The spa was fab.
First of all, can you just set up the scene? You didn't go and get yourself a spa day.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You're so messy.
Well, these are gifts,
Okay,
you know?
yeah.
It was a beautiful gift to be gifted. Like, girl, here's your gift.
Yes.
Show up at this place at this time and go and relax. That is so beautiful.
Okay, y'all. Because cool moms, y'all know my business is kind of the thing. You've been here for the get-togethers, the breakups. Thought I was getting married. We don't even know his name anymore. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter. There is, look, I'm hot now.
I know.
Why don't you
Actually, I'm schwitzing for you.
I met someone. It's very early. We're not going to give
Early
details.
days.
It's early. It's fab. But I'm so happy that he got the test, and the test was my birthday. You must. I'm gonna fuck you up. We love our DP. So it is very early, but I was happy that he was tested with my birthday. I am not a crazy, like, my birthday is a holiday. Everyone has to. No, but I like to do what I like to do. I like to feel loved, and I like to feel considered. Even if that's like honestly, you did the perfect thing. Synmia called me. I was busy.
I knew you were, but I had to do the things.
You did. And then sent me a voice note that said, I'm glad you didn't pick up. You're enjoying your day. Just want to tell you I love you. That's all I want. I don't like the pressure of
turning on the AC when it shouldn't
turning
be
off the AC. Thank you. I don't like the pressure of having to engage with happy birthday messages.
Same.
That is a lot
It gives
of pressure.
me anxiety.
Too much.
It gives me so much anxiety.
I'm at beef with a family member right now over birthday messages because I felt pressure and then I refused to give in and now we're not speaking. It's fine. That's not the story we're telling. The story that we're telling is that this lovely person that I'm having lovely conversation with in an intimate way reached out to my best friend and was like, I really want her to feel like loved and relaxed and taken care of. Can you recommend, because this person is long distance, can you recommend some really nice spas in LA that I can send her for the day to the spa?
Just doing the work. That is so important.
Doing the work. Ooh, and I'm going to talk shit about somebody after this. Okay, so this reminded me of this.
Yes.
Okay. So it was really lovely. I had a 2-hour massage. I was just... Wow.
I would love that.
I only remember an hour because I passed out.
Oh, I love that.
Next thing she was tapping me on the shoulder, roll over. I was like, damn, what happened? Where am I?
The soft tap.
When I was the soft tap. As soon as she touched my back, she was like, are you always this stressed? I was like, yeah, that's why I'm here. And then when my face was down in like the donut, I was drooling. It just was like, it was so many things happening at once.
I love that for you.
Me too. And then he called me afterward to see how it went. It was like, I just want to stay on the phone with you for your ride home. Because of course I had to do like 10 other things back to back. And then when I got home, there was this really gorgeous bouquet of flowers waiting for me. You
didn't tell me
Right?
that.
I know.
Oh my gosh. Timed it. Let me have this delivered while you're away. That's so important. That's really important. It's this person. I'm just kidding.
Je ne sais.
Tu sais?
So this happens, right? And I'm feeling loved, I'm feeling fab, all the things. And then, you know what a birthday does? A birthday is a terrible door or window or whatever to every person you've ever had any sort of intimate interaction with for them to think they should come back.
Oh no.
Like when does that, like to my married people, does that stop when you get married?
Yes.
No.
I mean, to some people.
Which one is it?
I mean, for me, because I set hard boundaries, but my partner would be like, oh, so-and-so. And I'm like, what? I had it. Okay, I'm sorry to take away from your story.
No.
His ex-girlfriend was like, oh, happy birthday, Papa Bear. I was like, okay. If you don't block her.
Block her. I will find her.
I will find her, period. And he blocked her.
Yeah, for sure.
And she blocked herself. I think she
Bear.
felt really embarrassed by that because then she
should.
kind of like disappeared.
Y'all are 3 kids deep. What do you mean, girl? You don't want this.
What are you working on?
It's too
You know what
much.
I mean? Let me just stay up in the mountains.
My God.
Yes.
Well,
so I understand.
So I don't even know if I talked about this guy in Cool Moms. I hope not. But the guy I was dating earlier this year sends me a message, very dry. Hello, Miss Peterson. Happy birthday. I hope you're doing well.
Miss Peterson?
Miss Peterson.
What is it? I know.
Yeah, like,
what is this?
What are we talking about?
A business call? Like,
So I'm like, but you gotta like phone a friend. So I phone a friend. Girl, how do I respond? Should I be nice and say the thing? What do I do? She was like, a Leo. She was like, absolutely not. Absolutely. She said, you can give it a heart and that's it. You can acknowledge. He needs no words.
She didn't even say a thumbs up. I would have been like, give it a thumbs up.
Thumbs up is so shady.
It is. It's
Fine.
like-
We give it a heart. And then I find out from our mutual friend the next day that he loses it. He crashes out, as the kids would say. He fucking loses it and is like, I worked up all this energy to send her this message and all she does is heart it. Meanwhile, this man, many, many, many time zones away, is trying to consider how do I feel loved and cared for. I said, and that's why
That's a
you were
beautiful contrast.
officially
Yes.
Black History. That's why you're not here anymore.
so much.
Anyways, that was this week in motherhood. I am I'm to the camera now. I'm really excited. As mentioned before, this is a first time exclusive crossover episode between Cool Moms and Birthrights. If you are a Cool Moms longtime subscriber, fan, follower, supporter, then you already know Synmia Rosine. She is
thank you.
a Cool Moms alum. One of my absolute besties, my sister, a person that's like made LA feel like home for me. I love you so much.
Oh, I love you. Don't make me cry.
I know.
I've been so emotional. I've been crying. I cried at the restaurant lady yesterday. She was like, "What would you like, ma'am?" And I just started crying. I'm like, "I'm just so hungry." And she was like, "It's okay. It's okay." Just started bringing me appetizers. Don't make me cry. I love you so much. I will.
But yes, this is a crossover episode, so I'm really excited because Synmia and I have tried this before. Was it during a lunar eclipse and a retrograde?
I don't know. Up at the mountain. She came to my house. We had all the things set up, and there was no sound.
We recorded the whole thing, y'all.
And there was no sound. Absolutely no sound. We said, run it back. And we were miming.
Yeah.
And we didn't even process it at that point. I was like,
we were so exhausted from the day that we were just like, okay, let's smoke a cigarette and just forget about it. we'll
sure did. We sure did.
And here we are. It worked out. Now we are in front of you all, and I'm really excited to get into this like Cool Moms Birthrights collab. So I'm gonna pass the proverbial mic over to you.
Okay, I'm just gonna apologize ahead of time. I am just not myself. I am so tired. I have not been this busy in so long. This week in my motherhood, I am preparing to move or to take my family on a long holiday across the world in 2 weeks. I haven't been out of the country in like 5 years. Oh, wow. My kids have never been on the airplane.
I didn't know that.
They've never been on an airplane.
You just really throwing them in the deep end.
You know, I told you I love chaos.
Yeah.
I just like to lean in it.
Tell them to call their auntie.
So,
I'm like, I know.
Yeah, we've been like, we're finishing 2 bathrooms. We are making sure the farm animals are okay. We are packing our things. We are getting our passports. I am doing things in New York. I'm doing things here. Just like the universe is giving me all the blessings like this. And I'm just I'm doing what I can to absorb and take them all in. So many new things and transformative things are happening for me and myself and my family. So I'm very excited about that. But I'm also just a Cancer with so many emotions, and I'm just trying to like live through everything that's happening.
Oh,
I know. I'm trying. I'm crying every other day. I saw Wild Robot and I was literally...
Oh, I heard that was emotional.
No. I was embarrassed. I was like snot and crying, and the kids were not my kids weren't looking at me. Other kids were looking at me like, is this woman okay? And I'm just like really trying to hold it together. I'm like, I might have to leave this movie. I can't even see the ending because it's just too much for me right now. Oh my God, it was too much. Lupita really just...
Do I need to see it?
Oh my God, it's so good. It's
I like
my
to
new
cry.
movie. It's my new movie.
Okay,
It's so good. Just like a little side bit, I'm not an AI internet person, and they really found a way to not make it about AI and the future of the world. They made it about being an individual and breaking barriers and overriding the system. That's what I loved about it the most. It's like not about just because you're programmed to be or do something one way, you still have the power. That's what makes us humans, to override your system and do it the way that you see fit. So I'm just like, obviously, because I'm doing all these things, I'm in my emotions, and I'm like just really seeing myself in the woods with these robots. I'm just like really feeling it. So where are we now in the conversation? I'm like,
we're
coming back to Birthrights.
Yes.
Birthrights is something, this is a manifestation that I've been working on, I would say, like, since Kyoko. I knew since I was apprenticing with my midwife, and I really decided to delve into birth work, and knowing that I have 3 kids now, really needing to find a way to create resources and help my community in a different way. And so Birthrights is a storytelling podcast where we discuss stories of creation and birth as a sacred rite of passage. For me, I have been doing a lot of research and meditating on what is a rite of passage and what is the importance of it. And I feel like as a humanity, rites of passage is what is contributing to our evolution, right? I feel like we have always gone through something major in our life. We've done ceremonies, we've done rituals to bring us to this other aspect of us, of ourselves, i.e. like the rise of the phoenix, right? Mm-hmm. You have to burn literally and turn into ash, and then you rise into this beautiful bird. So through Birthrights, my goal and my hope and my big manifestation is that storytelling is cathartic. Storytelling is healing, and it's the first thing that we've been doing as humanity from day one, since we were in the caves with the fire going and the shadows dancing on the caves. So my hope with Birthrights is that this is a healing space, and that people can align themselves with not Google searching anything, or aligning themselves with doctor statistics or all of these scary things that don't feel very human and connected. We can instead align ourselves with stories and people's stories. So that this hopefully will be my gift to humanity, to birthing people. And yeah, I'm really excited. It's been one of those things where, you're dreaming of something and then you're kind of going through the motion, and then like episode 5, you're like, oh shit, it's happening. It's happening. I'm doing the thing. Like I'm showing up, I'm turning on my little, I don't know how to, I learned from the best.
She don't know how to
I don't know how to no, I'm like,
she know how to talk.
Yeah.
And heal.
Yes. Period.
It's perfect.
So like showing up and doing the podcast thing has been it's been a cathartic experience for me. It's been very healing, but I'm also still learning how to live in it. I'm still like realizing that it's happening, that I'm doing it.
Are you feeling so something I said when I was chit-chatting on the ride over here was like, this is my happy place, because I feel like when I sit down, when I like have the mic, I feel like I'm living in my purpose and my power, and like the way that God intends for me to exist in the world. Have you started to feel that way? Because I've seen you in your power in other spaces.
I think they're finally, if I'm going to be honest and transparent, which I always am, the worlds are blending. They're like starting to fuse together. I'm starting to understand. I'm so much of a hands-on person, even how I support people. Like, I don't have a website where I have like my doula packages. I don't have like a website for the farm. I'm just very much a word of mouth person. If you need the healing will find you, kind of. So I'm really stepping into, this is my non-hands-on support era. I'm learning, and I'm stepping into that and realizing how much it's also my happy place, and realizing that I do have so much to say and things to learn other than offering my service. My love language is to be of service. I'm like, what do you need? What can I do for you? The way I show up for mothers, the way I show up for families, I'm just doing the things. So I'm learning how to do that in a way where I'm holding space. And I think the farm has taught me that, actually.
For sure.
We have a farm in Idlewild. It's called the People's Farm. It's a community farm where people can come and connect with nature. We have 3 alpacas. We have 1 surviving OG chicken.
Lone chicken.
Esme. She's from Highland Park.
Survivor.
She's from Highland Park. Someone brought her to the house and was like, a friend gave this bird to me. Can she live here? And I'm like, I guess, and she's the only one. All of our other chickens got eaten by the neighborhood coyotes. She's the only one that she's like, I know.
A city girl.
I'm
you think a coyote's gonna stop me? Please.
Caught y'all slipping, not me.
Yeah.
So yeah, the People's Farm kind of really taught me how to hold space in a different way. And Birthrights is also teaching me how to hold space in a different way. And I'm just so excited to share that with you guys.
I'm excited.
I'm excited to get into your story.
Oh my gosh, we're going to talk about me giving birth.
And the beautiful thing about Birthrights is like, it's not a Q&A, right? I'm not asking her questions. I'm not asking her to give a detailed chronological breakdown of each event and how things happen. The goal is, it's an audio journal, right? I want you to comb your memory. I want you to tell me how you were feeling using your 5 senses when you were from conception to postpartum.
Conception. Did we talk about that last time?
The season of conception.
Okay.
Yes, we did, actually. I'm trying to think.
I'm like, how much did I give you? Probably too much.
You gave me, I feel like you gave me a lot, but I also feel like
I probably
you can
tried
give
to
me
keep
more. Because I know you, I do feel like, and
fair,
I've
fair.
noticed that too with talking to other mothers, like, and other birthing people, that this is, a lot of them have never spoken their birthing story.
Well, I've spoken my birthing story, and then we're going to actually talk about the birthing story. But I'm as a co-parent, I try to be really conscious of how much I talk about my other co-parent and how much of like my business is his business. So I want to respect his boundaries. So there's like a dance that I do.
But you know what? I would have to say that it's not about him. He didn't have a baby. It's about you, right?
Yeah, fair.
And this is the beautiful thing about it. It's like about how you remember everything. And I feel like as mothers and as birthing people, we are so often protecting other people and concealing things that might have really affected us at that time. It doesn't mean shade or, we grow, right? When you conceive, you're very different than now. Like you've learned so much, you grow. We were just babies. I feel like, giving birth is our rite of passage, that we really transform into a different person. And so I would encourage you and other people to speak your truth.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
What you want to know?
Season of conception. Let's where were you? What were you wearing? What were you doing?
It was winter, New York City. 20.
Winter.
20. Was it winter? No, it was summer.
I being the complete opposite.
It's because I gave birth in the winter.
Yes.
I got
Okay,
confused.
yeah. So season of conception. I would love for you to paint the picture for all of us. Where were you in your life?
Yeah.
What were you thinking? What was your thought process? And then that moment you conceived, like, how did that change?
So it's funny, the more that I've spoken about this, the more I realize there's like no... That's not true. My birth story is messy.
Yes, I love it. See, you're already.
It's a little bit messy and it's fun, right? So I was living with a partner. We broke up. It's New York. If you know New York, if you lived in New York, no one wants to like leave split rent. So we were like, we're gonna stay living together because the lease is not up.
Not because the
lease is not up. We're writing the lease out, right? I think we had like 4 more months on the lease. In those 4 months, I get pregnant. So
Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Let me just back this up again.
Yeah.
You guys had already decided that, okay, we are not a match.
Right.
And you guys are unmatched, but have to live out this lease. Like,
we choose to live out this lease.
Yes. Well, just like very sensible humans.
Yes.
And during the living out of the lease, that's when conception happened.
I met a man. So I'm living with my ex-girlfriend. Because let's like add the layers to it.
I love it.
So I'm living with my ex-girlfriend. I am standing in front of the G train on Bedford, chit-chatting with a friend. It's wintertime. I'm cold. Did we meet in winter?
Girl.
And no, it was because
summer.
I don't know when it was. No, it wasn't winter, y'all. I'm sorry.
I know this is the beauty. This is the beauty of it. This is the beauty of our memory. And
it was chilly, but it wasn't winter.
Spring.
It was spring. It was early spring in New York. That's what it was.
Winter's just left.
Okay, let's get to it. Yeah. Okay, so I'm standing outside the subway. I'm talking to a friend. Very cinematic. A bus goes by. The bus goes by. There is a gorgeous man with locks and tattoos and muscles. And I said, my God. I have not seen a nigga like this in New York. Ever. This is what I've been waiting on. Wow. So I'm trying to like emit my feminine essence, like, feel me, see me. and it works. And I had
You're so good at that.
I am. I had a big fro at the time. He like walks by me, stops, and he was like, I love your hair. But then I'm a goofball because I'm like not that smooth. So I was like, I love your hair. Hype, right? Then he goes down to the subway. I'm like, damn, that man was so fine. Then he comes back up. And I said, yes, you did. Yes, come back. And he was like, hey, I don't mean to be rude, but like, I think you're beautiful. Can I get your number? Something along those lines, right? We exchange information. Cool. We chit chat. He's like, do you want to come work out with me tomorrow?
Not a workout date. That's my kind of date.
A man with muscles.
Like, give me an activity. What are you doing?
So yeah, I'm hype. I said, yeah, 7 a.m. or 8 a.m., whatever it was, something absurd. It's cold. I remember having like long things over my tights. Living with my ex-girlfriend. I was like, I'm just going to work out. I'm feeling like a workout. I know this is not my routine. And then we go and we run to Fort Greene Park. And then we just have this marathon date. And I'm sure many people can relate to that, where you run and you're talking and you don't want it to end. I was like, I got to run this errand. He's like, I'll come with you. We get on the train. We salsa dance in the street to some music. It's New York.
What?
We had a New York City day.
This is like a storybook.
Yes.
Is this a chapter in your storybook?
It's a fat chapter and a skinny one at the same time. So robust but long. I mean, but short. So we have this love affair. He was freshly out of a relationship. I was freshly out of a relationship. And then we got like that.
Like,
yeah, like
real
literally and physically. Yeah.
Real hard.
Real hard. And I remember when I conceived, and I knew I conceived when I conceived.
isn't that funny when that happens?
Isn't
and
it?
you try to pretend. You're like, no, I'm just.
Oh no, I didn't even pretend. I remember calling my friend after I left the house, and I was like, I just got pregnant, and I'm.
You
and
naughty
I'm gonna keep
monkey.
I just knew. I knew that it had happened.
Did you know you were ovulating, or
No,
you just knew?
I knew nothing about any of that.
So that's what makes it even more like.
Was not tapped into my body in that way. I was just coming off of being a lesbian. I didn't know what was happening. It didn't matter if I was ovulating. We weren't trying to have a baby. Like, it didn't matter. So. Yeah, and then I remember he was in and out of town. I called my best friend. I was like, I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to walk to the Walgreens, get a pregnancy test. Take 2. Girl, I'm pregnant. Duh.
Wow.
And
did you have to wait the full month? Or did you just,
I don't know.
You kind of took it early just to know?
You know, there were signs, right?
Yeah.
So one of the signs was that I was at a little kickback and I kept getting a glass of wine. First glass of wine spills completely. Second glass of wine, the glass cracks in half. And at that point, I said, I don't even want no fucking wine. It's fine. I'm going home. Leave the function. Then I ordered dim sum, shrimp. Y'all, I bit into it. I looked at that shrimp and I was like, this is trifling. Like, why do people eat shrimp? This is so nasty. Oh my God. That was one thing. And then that same week, I remember, I was like, I need Frosted Flakes. I lied to y'all not, 10 bowls of Frosted Flakes that day.
I know that feeling.
Where it's just like insatiable.
Yeah.
And then I found out I was pregnant and I said, aha. Everything's adding up. So I knew that, like, circumstance-wise, financially, I was not prepared to have a child. I was not in a committed relationship. I was living with my ex-girlfriend. But I knew that it was, like, gonna happen.
Yes.
I just had this overwhelming feeling that I was making the choice to have the baby. And I was really excited about it, despite all of the odds.
I love that.
Yeah, so that's how conception happened.
So when did
Doggy
you
style over the sink. That's how it happened.
You naughty monkey.
Naughty.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Careful.
I mean,
yeah.
So when did you tell him?
My God.
Did you wait? How was that? I mean, it's only natural that I ask. How did that
Yeah.
conversation go? Well, first of all, how did you tell your ex/roommate?
Oh my God. You know what? That was a harder conversation because we were living together. Honestly, it was something that really was really, really challenging. I remember I could just see, I felt like I kept breaking her heart more and more and more. So that was really hard.
Yeah.
That was really, I honestly, my plan was I was going to hide it from her. I was like, oh, I can ride the wave until we move out. She doesn't need to know I'm pregnant. I'm not going to be showing.
For 4 months?
But then I was sick. Oh, then I was throwing up water. And I was like, there's no way. I can't keep it. I lost 15 pounds in my first trimester.
Oh my
That's how sick I was getting.
Wow.
Could barely keep a cracker down. So, and she took care of me. You know, she's the realest one I know.
Yes.
The godmother to my son. It is the gayest thing I've ever done. My ex-girlfriend is my godmother
I love
to my
it.
child.
I love it. It's like full
it.
circle.
She's amazing.
Yeah, she is.
I love her with my whole heart. Anywho, so that was really difficult. Telling Sergeant's dad was really scary. You know what I did though?
Yeah, how did you do it?
I like planned it and I was like, I'm gonna wear all white.
Okay.
Because I don't know, it just
In
felt
your
like
Orisha?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
And my queen energy, I was like, I'm
Yes.
gonna wear all white. We met at the park. I told him, he was in shock, which is also funny because it's like, you know what we were doing.
I know.
You know? Whatever.
I love a shock.
You remember this thing.
I know, right?
He was in shock. He like handled it well at first. Actually, no, the park was this. Anyways, I told him once and then we had to like circle back on the combo because I think he had like processed and was like, we have to really talk about this. But I had made my decision. And so I was prepared for whatever the response was. And then he kind of just had to get on board. And so we got on board and we had decided how there was like a lot of blurriness on like the status of a relationship. We had a lot of love between us. It was really like we birthed a love child, truly.
I love that. Yeah, you guys were spending your 100 days of early spring with each other or something.
Yeah.
You know, it was giving
Fertile.
romance
Yes.
movie,
Yes.
you know, indie film.
Completely.
You
We
know?
thought we were Erica and Andre. Like, my God. So yeah. And then so many things happened.
Okay, and
after
so you were very ill your first trimester.
Yeah.
How was the rest of your pregnancy?
coming into my second trimester, I got an artist residency in Canada for a month, and I also would love wine. I would love another glass if anyone wants to come up. Thank you so much. I went to Quebec for an artist residency, and in that time, my belly popped. So I was
And
like,
you
wow.
tell me you wonder about chaos.
Yeah, I
that
know.
is so chaotic.
And it was,
I love that.
It was so fun.
I love that
Because I didn't tell them I
love
was
it.
pregnant.
Oh.
Till I got there. I was like, by the way, I'm pregnant, to like the program directors and all of that. And they were like, okay. I'm like up on a ladder painting. They're like, are you okay? I'm living in a house with strangers. It's like the real world, but for artists. So we all had different houses. I was sharing a house with 2 men. And I was like, hello, I'm pregnant. Give me the best room. Thank you so much. Luckily, they were gentlemen and they were like, whatever you need, we will do for you. Thank you so much. And
Thank you.
I made, I think, the most profound, honest work of my, thus far, of my like artistic practice. It's called A Meditation on Thug Life. And I documented my belly growing. So I'm in this like tiny town called Baie-Saint-Paul in Quebec. And it's like maybe 1,000 people in the whole town.
Wow.
It's so tiny that they came to me and I wasn't even offended. They were like, would you like to meet the other Black people that live here?
Oh my God.
Because there was like 3.
Not a Black folks meet and
Yeah,
greet.
y'all want to link up or what? Sure. We were having
Sounds
open.
great.
It was fab. We were having open studios. It was picturesque. I saw a bald eagle. Like, it just. I mean, it was a transformative.
During your pregnancy?
Yeah.
In real life?
In real
Did it fly
life.
over your head?
It flew parallel to the train I was taking
That's
into
such
town.
medicine. Wow.
It was incredible. I was
That's
like, I didn't
incredible.
know eagles were real.
And big.
And big, and they
They're
are.
big.
And I spent so much time alone. It was the solar eclipse. I danced in a field with hay bales and sheep.
Okay.
Oh yeah. It got deep. It got real woo-woo. I was in a white dress. All of it is in the work, right?
Okay. This white dress theme.
It's a theme.
It is a theme.
It is a theme.
Okay.
Yeah.
So So now you're back. Did you go back to New York?
Yes.
And
I was homeless.
so then the woo-woo kind of went to reality.
He's like, girl, find a place to live.
Where were you and what were you feeling when you had your first contraction? And what did it take? Obviously, you just said you were homeless. So did it take a lot of
I found a home.
preparation, for the third trimester? Were you settled by then or?
Yes, I got settled. Listen, my Aries moon said, girl, we're going to get to it. It'll get done. Get done. I found a super cute studio apartment, a half a block from Fort Greene Park. It was like all I needed at the time. And I got settled. My guy friends, my girlfriends came through. They built my bed. They got my apartment set up. Like I had a fantastic support system. And then I just got to like nest and stretch in the park and hug trees. And Sergeant was due. His dad would come back and forth between the South and New York, and we'd go to the doctor's appointments and just,
That's nice.
Yeah, it was nice. We were doing it our way. And then what happened? My contractions. Oh, so Sergeant was due like at the end of December. In true Capricorn fashion, he was 2 weeks past the due date. We were over it. I went bowling. I did like all the things.
We were over it? You were over it.
I was over it, but
Sergeant was chilling.
Apparently not over it.
No, he was chilling.
I think my friends were probably over it because I had friends fly into town in anticipation of the birth. And then they had to leave.
Always the worst when that happens.
Right?
I think because there's just this misconception of just like, okay, I'm going to take 2 weeks off. I'm going to come and your baby's going to come when I'm there. And it's like, that sounds like a great idea. And I'm going to believe you because I also want my baby to come while you're here and I have help. But the reality of it is that no, this thing is going to come whenever it pushes the eject button.
Yeah. So I kept thinking he was pushing the eject button. I kept hitting my midwife like, I think my water broke. And she's like, girl, it's wet. It's not. That's not it. That's not it. And then it was nighttime. Dante and I were like in the little studio apartment, maybe watching TV or something. And I remember telling him I wanted ice cream. So he was going in the kitchen to get the ice cream. For whatever reason, I said, I need to get off the bed and go. I lift one leg up to get off the bed, and it just said, whew. It was like a movie. Water everywhere.
Isn't that funny? Because when you think like your first pregnancy, when you think your water broke, when you think your mucus plug, when you think all these things, and your midwife and your doula are like, no, you'll know. You'll know it's a big sign,
and
it keeps breaking.
Yeah.
It keeps breaking. It doesn't break once. It's not just like the movies where just like a bucket of water, it's gushing over hours.
It was wild.
Yeah, it is wild.
It was really dramatic too. I think we both
Did you
are
scream?
dramatic. No. I was like, oh my God, it's happening. Okay. And then he came from the kitchen. He picked me up.
Oh my God.
It was so sweet.
Oh my
so
God.
macho. Carried me to the bathroom. I was like, I think I can walk. I think
so
I'm okay.
macho.
Took me to the bathroom. I called my midwife. And then I remember just standing in the bathroom like, oh my God, it's happening. I'm going to have a baby. What the fuck? All I did was have sex and now I'm going to have a baby. And like, who let me do this? And I remember being excited, anxious, and just it felt like the most surreal moment of my entire life.
Were you not afraid of birth at that point?
1,000%.
Okay.
I was
what were
terrified.
Your fears?
The pain.
Okay.
Just the pain.
Did you have painful periods before? So
kind of, but like not in a while.
Do you have a high pain threshold or?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think I had a big avoidance around preparing for birth. So I would watch YouTube videos of free births. Free births are when a person goes in nature or wherever, and then it happens. Whatever happens, and you take care of it yourself.
Yes.
I was like, if someone can do that, I can give birth. I don't need a birthing class. I don't need help.
That was going to be my next question. Did you take a birth education class?
No, I did not take a birth education class. Why?
Everybody, please take a birth education class.
Take a class.
Take a class. It will answer all your questions. It is life-changing.
Guys, I didn't do it.
It's okay. You watch Free Birth on YouTube. the second kind of birth education class.
So that was going to be fun. Again, my plan was we have our playlist. We have a projector in the apartment. We have the tub. I'm going to wear all white. He's going to wear all white.
Again.
White. Again.
Yes.
And like, it's going to be this aesthetic moment. And then we're going to give birth in the apartment and like, welcome to the world, Sergeant.
What was that?
No.
So did the contractions kick up or did you have to sleep on it?
No, I think I could sleep. I was in labor for 3 days.
Did you sleep though? Were you one of those
initially
who didn't?
I did.
Okay, good girl.
After that, absolutely not. No.
Did you regret it?
It's not even that I regret it. It's that I couldn't.
Yeah.
Because I like got really stagnant at 5 centimeters. And I wasn't moving past 5 centimeters for like over 16 hours. Something crazy.
Yes.
We had a tincture lady come in. My midwife kicked everyone out the apartment. I'm stressing my friend out because she's reading the nurture book, trying to be my doula at the last minute. In real time, because I fired my doula for no real reason other than hormones.
I mean, other than you just knew,
That's fine.
it's.
That's
I
fine.
feel you have to. I feel like sometimes there's no rhyme or reason why you do things. You just have to go with the flow. There's a higher power at work here, and you are just a vessel. So
but I shouldn't have put it on my friend.
No,
she's doing her best.
Yes.
She was doing her best. What I was not prepared for, what I was not educated on, was back labor.
Oof.
I didn't know that was a thing, and I had back labor.
A lot of people don't,
and it was awful.
It feels like you're dying.
Yeah, exactly. And Dante was asleep, and that was pissing me off. I mean, also, there wasn't a lot for him to do, but I don't know.
Yeah,
wake up.
If I'm awake, you're awake.
Tap in, motherfucker. We are here, okay? We're in the studio apartment giving birth. Wake up.
Drink some coffee.
Where's
your rock star?
I need something.
Yes.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So that was irritating. That I could tell that irritated my mother. So and then
mom's here at this point.
Mom's here. So I'm trying to mitigate all of the energy in a studio apartment.
That's hard. That's hard.
So then my midwife picked up on that, and she was like, "Everybody got to go."
I love that for you.
Love that for me too.
Yeah.
She said, "Everybody leave." Y'all, I drank the castor oil. I know that's controversial, but I did that.
Yeah.
I did acupuncture.
Can I just do a little? Castor oil works if you are in the right place of your birth, like your labor. It doesn't work if you're not in a right place.
Well, what's the right place?
That's where your midwife and your doula are there to, and if you have a good tapped in intentional midwife and doula, they will say like, yes. So normally when you are more than 5 centimeters, around 7 or 8 centimeters is a great time because you're essentially starting up the contractions for your body.
Yeah.
I took castor oil for all 3 of my births because I go to 42 weeks almost close to where it's illegal to have a home birth. And so that is our last kind of option, to get the body going. If you take it too early, it causes a lot of problems because you are just shitting and throwing up everywhere.
So guess what happened? Guess what happened? Picture it. January 2018. Fort Greene. Cold. I am in a house dress.
What color was it?
Tan.
Okay. You were going to say white?
No, it was tan. This was tan. I had on a pea coat, and I had on no underwear, and I had on whatever flat shoes or snowshoes, and I'm walking the block with my mom. It's like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, just walking the snow block. We are a quarter of a block from the door. I said, "Mom, I'm going to shit myself."
Oh my God.
She was like, "We're almost there." I said, "Right now." Open the code, and I shit on the sidewalk.
Oh my God.
I shit on my coat. in labor.
Yes. Well, after castor oil, it comes quick. It comes quick. There's no time.
There was no time.
There's no time.
My mother was so sweet. She said, "It's okay. I'll get the coat dry clean. Everything will be fine." I was
Love
like,
you, Mom.
"Don't tell anyone." Like, let me get back into the. Also, on my apartment door, it says like, "Labor in progress. Don't mind the sound." It's like all of this is happening. I come in, I take the shitty coat off, I change my clothes.
Did you get to wipe?
Yeah, I'm sure I cleaned up.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh my
At some
God.
point, I took a bath.
Yes.
So.
Well, obviously, yeah. But
Yeah. So I had shit myself. And then they kept checking me and I was still 5 centimeters and the contractions were crazy. So I went ahead and called an Uber. I said, "Hey, everybody, we're going to the hospital." Nah, the Uber is on the way. I'm over it. We've been at home for 2 days.
Yes.
The baby's got to come. So I had let go of all of the dreams of the all-way home birth and the projector and the things. I said, I just want to give birth. Give me an epidural, give me Pitocin, give me everything, get the baby out. I'm ready. So I felt so relieved in the Uber. I was like, I'm going to go have a baby now because it has to happen. Y'all, I get to, where did I give birth? A terrible hospital because I wasn't prepared. I was so ignorant about hospitals because I had completely prepared for a home birth. So I was at Bellevue.
I don't know New York hospitals like that, but I hear stories.
If you think about like SVU, they like go to Bellevue, like on Law and Order, like
okay,
whatever. But my midwife is like, "Listen, you've been in labor a long time. If we go to these other hospitals, they're going to immediately say you need to get a C-section."
Period.
So like
after after your water breaks, you have up to 36 hours. They say sometimes you can stretch it to 48, but you have up to 36 hours before, because now it is an open portal. There's no mucus.
Right.
The plug is already there. It is an open portal for bacteria, for infections. So you kind of, if baby's not coming, then you have to, and hospitals like medicalized births, they take that very seriously.
Yeah.
And it's normally just, A equals B.
Yes.
You know, there's no in between.
Yeah, chaos.
It's chaos.
So I get there. We finally get in, but I'm feeling relieved because I'm like, I'm going to have a baby now. I get the epidural. I get the Pitocin. I'm hype. I just can't wait to push. So excited to push. They check me. We lie about how long I had been in labor for that very reason, because I really wanted to have a vaginal birth. And y'all, I still didn't dilate past 5 centimeters.
Wow.
And they were like, "We've given you the legal amount of Pitocin that
All
we
the
can
things,
give you.
yeah.
They're like, there's nothing else we can do. We're going to have to give you a C-section." I know, that's what I said.
How did you feel at that point? Because you're tired.
I'm tired, but I'm like, whatever we have to do. But I feel scared because I look at my mother and I could tell my mom is really worried for me. My mom had given birth 3 times vaginally. She'd never, and she said that. She was like, "I've never had a C-section. I don't know how to support you. I'm really scared. Like, this is new for me." I'm like, well, I don't know if that's helpful right now. Fuck.
Tell me this after.
Tell me after. But I'm just like, well, here's the thing. The baby's coming. Now it's guaranteed. We go into the OR. They kind of rush me in there.
Who's with you?
Sergeant's dad is with me.
Okay.
He had just come back from China. And he was really hype off of his China experience. And our anesthesiologist was Chinese.
Oh my gosh. Not him cutting up in the OR.
Cutting up in the OR, talking about China, wanting to say all of the Mandarin things he had learned. I was just like, shut the
This
fuck
is not the time.
fucking relax. I'm like this. And they're just above me. I can't even see them. And they're just chatting. So, fine. But I'm excited because I'm like, the baby is now finally coming. They do that. I don't know what's happening, y'all. I'm numb. I feel absolutely nothing. I feel a little bit of pressure. Next thing I know, Sergeant is up in the air.
Oh my goodness.
I remember like being kind of out of it. And I think, I don't totally know, but I think I asked Dante, like, is he healthy? Is he okay? Toes, fingers, everything looked good. Everything is good. Maybe they brought him to me, but it's fuzzy. I kind of don't remember. And what I do remember is then everyone kind of clears out the room. Sergeant is somewhere in the operating room on a table, or I don't know. He's somewhere.
Yeah. Newborn baby exam.
Newborn baby, thank you. They're doing that.
Not the operating table. It's okay.
Because I didn't take a class. I don't know what's happening. I have no idea. His dad leaves. And then I'm feeling weird. And like, I can't really explain it, but I know something is not right. And I'm getting scared. But I like don't know how to communicate it. And next thing I know, I just know that my body is off. I hear a nurse like counting the sponges. You know, they put sponges inside of you when you have surgery. And she's like, where's sponge 13? I feel someone press on my abdomen. And she was like, okay, Miss Peterson, we're just going to cut you open again. We have a sponge inside of you. And then all of a sudden, everyone's moving fast. People are just starting to move really fast. And I'm like, oh my God, this is how people die.
Not you guys leaving a sponge.
Had already sewn me up.
Inside, don't you do
Bellevue
the count?
Hospital.
Shouldn't you do the count before you start the sutures? I am not a doctor. I don't hold scalpels, but I know how to count. And I know the order of operation.
Right.
And I think we should just count the sponges before we sew anybody up.
Before anyone gets sewn up.
So
they
what
have
were
to
you
bring-
feeling at that point?
Terrified. I was like, scared
And
I was
you
going to
were
die.
by yourself?
I was by myself.
Oh.
I was scared that I was going to die and that nobody knew what was going to happen. That like what happened to me. And I was just like, I'm sure that I was praying and talking to God, just like, let me be okay, let me be okay, let me be okay. Let me like.
I wanna cry
I know,
for you.
I know. Every time I talk about it, I get kind of emotional. It's
I'm
deep.
so sorry, babe.
And I was just really scared I was gonna die.
Yeah, that is
And that's
scary.
like I've
And to
never
be
felt-
alone.
And to be alone.
And that's the thing about birth, you know, it's like once the baby's here, it's kind of like it's an interesting representation of what happens when you give birth. You know, it's like, okay, the big finale's here. We can go home and wrap up. She's gonna be fine. She's got doctors around her, and I'm just like, I told you I'm emotional right now. I'm just gonna cry for you.
Fine.
I'm like crying for you.
Yeah, well, it's not fun actually. It was pretty fucked up. I never felt like I was gonna die before until that moment.
Yeah.
And they came in. I didn't. Glory be to
Thank
God.
God. I've been so mad.
I know, right? We
so
wouldn't have
mad.
met each other. What the hell? Some other woman would raise sergeant. That would have been lame.
That'd been terrible.
So then I remember coming out of the OR and just feeling like, oh my God, was I slouching the whole time? Shit. now I feel very upright. I'm like, how was I before? I just remember feeling like I didn't even have the strength or the language to tell everyone when I got back to the room what just happened. And also everyone's excited. Like the baby's here. So it's just like, hey, I felt like I was going to die. And like, it just was so much.
It's so isolating.
It was so isolating. And then all of the series of events that happened after that, how we were treated by the hospital staff, how I felt like I was treated because I was using Medicaid insurance and like them assuming that I was an uneducated person.
Okay, wait. I'm just going to pause you right there. So they leave a sponge inside of you. They cut you twice. And then they have the audacity to treat you raggedy?
So then I call one of my besties who is a physician's assistant. She was like, girl, ask for the medical report. Get the medical report so you can see what's going on in case you need to have a lawsuit. And I was like, okay. The moment I asked for the medical report, shit got weird. Then it's a lot of doctors coming in like, everything's fine, like really trying to pacify the situation. I just had major surgery, a C-section. I'm anesthesia, like I'm not fully present. And I had a baby. I'm in shock.
Yeah.
Like,
you've been in labor for 3 days.
For 3 days. I haven't been sleeping. So I it's very fuzzy, like the series of events that happened after that. I just know that we were really not treated well. There was a social worker they brought in that continued to question if I was in an abusive relationship.
Because he was
Black?
with locks and tattoos?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I felt really, really robbed of my birth experience.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, that's the unfortunate thing of just like, that's the thing that breaks my heart about sometimes hospital births is that they just don't honor. They don't honor what you've just gone through.
No.
Then it becomes a business and they want to talk to you as if you just woke up in your bed and you've had a cup of coffee and it's just a normal day and they're trying to discuss these things with you. They're not honoring your sacred space. They're not allowing you to heal even for 20 minutes, it seems like.
No.
It seems like they got right into it. And
Right
then
into it.
once you started to advocate for yourself, then they
It was
really
a
wanted to
problem.
press you.
Absolutely. And in the particular wing that we were in, the AC wasn't working. So it was like 80 degrees in the hospital, y'all.
Oh my God.
And it just, the gifts keep giving. And, which felt really predatory in hindsight. They had people coming around giving free birth control, like Nexplanon in your arm. Which is like very predatory because you just went through this traumatic experience and like, you don't want to do that again, right? You're poor and on Medicaid. Do you want this? It costs $800 if you leave, so you should get it now while it's free.
Oh my God. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and kept it in 2 years too long.
Babe, wait.
It's out.
What?
I know, it's out.
Wait, they surgically
Shoot you up. I have a scar, I think. Yeah.
God.
They shoot you up with an Nexplanon while you're in recovery from having a baby. Because they're like, you don't want to do this again.
That is terrible.
I know. Yeah. Our healthcare
It is
system,
very predatory because
Yes.
you were out of it.
I can't make this kind of decision. And now I'm financially pressured because they're like, do you essentially want to pay $1,000 when you leave or you want to get it for free?
Not them discussing running the numbers.
Running the numbers.
Oh my God.
So like all of these things happen and I'm just like, I got to get out this hospital.
How long were you there?
I was there for 2 days and I remember there was I think it was a lactation consultant. I refused to eat the food. Either his dad brought me food or my mom had my kombucha, had my things. I was like, I'm not eating hospital food. And I think she kind of peeped the scene and was like, you should get out of here. Not get out, but like she literally was like, you should get out of here. You need to like poop and you need to like be able to walk down the hallway to prove that you can leave. And then you need to like speed it up.
That was your godsend angel right there.
And I was like, okay, let's do it. Let's go. I got to get out. And then I did it. I remember coming back home. It was such a trip because then I come back to my little Fort Greene apartment with still like the tub still set up and all the things. And I was like, that felt like the Twilight Zone.
It does, doesn't it?
I didn't even feel like I was in New York. I was in this whole other place that felt really traumatic. And then that's when all of the healing in the 4th trimester and like, wow, I had a baby.
So we're in our 4th trimester.
Yeah.
You're postpartum.
Yes.
What are those, bless you, what were those, because you had such a traumatic birth, what were those days and weeks and months like?
Lonely. They were very lonely because again, everyone had taken off anticipating a specific date. And so his dad was in school at the time. He stayed he'd already been in town for a month, stayed for an additional week. And he's like, I got to go back to school. And I remember.
So wait, you were by yourself?
Yeah.
With an incision?
Yes.
Oh my God, babe. And a new baby?
And a new baby.
In the winter?
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's like giving me grief right now.
This is why I left New York. I was like, I remember I spent like $800 in Uber Eats 1 week.
Damn.
Because I was like, I can't cook. I don't want to leave the house. Yeah. Luckily, I did have people
you should not.
Right.
You
I had people who like came and took care of me and brought me casserole and like did the things. But you know.
You need it 3 times, 4 times a day.
Exactly.
You know? Like you have cesareans, it takes a lot of energy for us to heal from those. It takes longer for your milk to come in, especially if you experience a traumatic cesarean. You're still kind of grounding yourself in the trauma that you had just experienced.
Oh, I didn't even start processing. That got put in a box.
But still your body.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even if mentally and spiritually you had to put it away so that you can survive for you and your baby, your body is still going through those motions. So to be asking you to cook 3 meals while producing milk, while walking from the bathroom to your bed, while getting up and opening the blinds, like letting the sun leak in, doing all these little things is so hard on the body.
Yes. And I was behind on a deadline and I was a freelancer. So I kind of had to finish so I could get paid because I needed the money. So then I was working and I was working on illustrating the illustrations for my first book. And I had to get the thing done. We had to go to print. And so it had to get done. So all of this stuff is happening. And I remember the first time I actually began to process was like maybe a couple months, maybe 2 months in. One of my girlfriends came in town, very college. We like hotboxed in the bathroom.
I love that.
And then I came out and Sergeant was sleeping on the bed and I was just like, what the fuck? I had a fucking baby.
Yes.
Who will let me do this? I've never done anything forever. I have commitment issues. How will I do this forever? If like, God willing, this thing will live longer than me. I can't even mentally process that.
I'm still processing that right now.
It's crazy.
I'm still processing that. So if there's, I don't like the word advice, but if there's one offering that you could share or one piece of wisdom, just knowing your entire experience and your journey through getting to motherhood, what could that be? What does that look like or sound like?
Take a birthing class.
Take
a class.
Yes.
Take a class.
Take a class.
Even if it's just one, I don't know why I had such an aversion to the classes.
And we're not talking about a hypnobirthing class, okay? People think just because they took a hypnobirthing class or is a class that helps them get through birth. The beautiful thing about childbirth education is because it takes you through the whole journey.
Yeah.
And it helps you start to mold your brain and plan and think around, okay, this is what it's going to look like when I'm in my third trimester. This is what it's going to look like postpartum. This is what it's going to look like if I don't have a home birth. This is what it's going to look like if I have a hospital birth.
I had none of those resources. Not that I couldn't have. I just didn't.
Well, it's also the education, right?
Completely.
Unfortunately, our culture in this country does not press that on or does not make that known or popular. Like, hey guys, everybody should be taking a class. Oh,
Right.
You have a new physician. Oh, I'm your new OB. Okay, here's a couple resources of different childbirth educators that you should tap into. That's not a conversation that anyone is having. You have to seek that out for yourself. And depending on where you are in your life, you might not seek that out. You might not have time. You might not think you need that,
Right.
So
yeah. And I would say probably the second piece of that is really consider what your fourth trimester is going to look like. Like, how are you going to create or galvanize like the tools and the community and the resources that you need to take care of yourself after birth? I did not consider after birth or the fourth trimester at all. Everything was the runway to giving birth. And then everything was the runway to like baby, clothes, bottles, crib, get the baby Zen stroller, get this thing, all of the things that you need to make sure that baby has this nipple for the bottle and this pump for the.
But not the in-between moments.
No, not the in-between moments, and not also like, what if you have a C-section? How will you take care of yourself? How will you heal? How will your body be affected? How are you emotionally being supported during this time? I had not considered at all that I would need emotional support. And that sounds crazy.
So what was the reality of postpartum for you?
Truth be told, I think the reality is that although I had such a challenging birth, I think that I was more equipped than I could have ever imagined for motherhood.
I love that.
I had such a challenging birth, but I think once Sergeant came earthside, motherhood came very naturally for me. I didn't have lactation issues. I didn't have issues with bonding. I remember talking to my mom and she was like, I can tell that you fall in love with him more and more every day. And I was like, it is mind-boggling. I never knew that like a love like I really had a very storybook experience in like early stages of motherhood, despite fill in the blank.
I love that.
Yeah.
So this part of the series we call Reflections, and it's kind of just rapid fire.
Okay.
I know you had a playlist. Did you have a specific song?
Yeah.
If so, what was it? And is it still relevant today?
I told you we thought we were Eric and Andre, so it was Other Side of the Game. Erica was doing Andre 3000, amongst many other things, I'm sure, oldies and goodies and that sort of thing. But yeah, that was the vibe.
What was your holy grail during your birth, actually? Was there something, it could be birth, it could be during your pregnancy, it could be postpartum, but was there just this one thing? Like, for example, some people, like for me, it's chapstick.
Chapstick.
I just, I need to always, no matter how much pain, no matter how much I'm doing, I can't have cracked lips. It just is really hard for me to function.
I didn't have a thing like that. Pregnancy, sure. I had that like went through phases depending on where I was in my trimesters, but Probably my friend Naima, who I threw in to be a doula.
Love her.
Yeah. Like if I saw her, I was like, you are a normal person I know from before I was in this shit. So like you are grounding me in reality.
Yes.
I love you. A real one, a Capricorn, an amazing person. Naima stayed with me throughout the entire laboring and then slept on the hospital floor when I got seeing her, don't cry.
I know, I'm just
Jesus.
Yeah.
So yeah, seeing her, like, I was like, yeah.
Okay, and then my last question is, I like to break it up in 3 parts. Like, what was a product? Something that, like, how do you self-care? So product-wise.
Like now?
Yeah.
Okay,
Product-wise, movement-wise, and how do you nourish yourself? Like, what's your favorite food? What is your favorite food way to nourish yourself?
Okay. Well, because on the top of my head.
It's a rapid fire, so it needs to be off the top of your head.
Okay. Kombucha. Love a kombucha. I'm a kombucha girl. Yes. Live for a kombucha. If I'm not drinking water, I'm drinking kombucha.
Okay.
Movement. I take long walks.
Love that.
I'm a long walk galley.
Okay.
And product?
Nourishment.
Oh, nourishment? No,
that was
the kombucha.
Okay, so then product. It was supposed to go product movement.
All right.
But we'll
yeah.
Okay.
What's the product that I need? Any sort of chapstick.
See?
Yeah. 1,000%. I've got 4. I've got them in my pocket.
Yes,
I've been thinking, I'm like, do I need it now? Like, are they dry? I've been thinking that for half the episode. Are they dry?
No, they look good.
Okay, thanks. My lips are too big to be dry.
I'm so sorry that you had that experience. That really breaks my heart. I mean, hearing your experience really is the reason why I got into birth work. I mean, period. Because no one should ever have to experience these things alone. No one should ever have to experience these things, period. We live in the 21st century. I'm like...
It's 20.
Carry the one. We live in the 21st century and we are a first world country and we should not be dealing with these things that you feel like not even remote villages are dealing with.
Yeah.
Even their community shows up, their aunties, uncles, whomever is showing up and helping bring life into this world in a calm, cool, collected, loving way. And I'm just, first of all, thank you so much for sharing. And it is very inspiring to see you lean into chaos so eloquent.
Chaos is
you
coming
know what
back.
I mean? And
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry, but just so eloquently and so much, so empowering to listen to your birth story and like to come out of it feeling empowered and not feeling sorry for you. I do feel sorry for you, but I also know that your story has definitely shaped you into the woman that you are. And it's inspiring, and I hope it inspires the listeners and anyone who is tapping in to know that just because birth doesn't go as planned, that doesn't mean we should allow it to break us. Sometimes this is our journey, and that's something that we just have to accept. And, you know, it's always best to lean into the chaos with strength and like how you, like, know how, like you knew you were going to be a good mother. You knew you were going to have your baby. You knew when it was time to go to the hospital. You knew when it was time to get everybody to leave. Like, those intentional and instinctual ways about ourselves, I feel like it's something that we shouldn't allow anyone to take away from us. And that's when we need to tap into that even more so when we're in those moments.
Yeah.
I'm not going to cry.
Don't do it. We made it the whole way
I know.
through without
Just
crying.
brimming. I'm like watching it.
It's there. I love you.
I love you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you for sharing.
Of course.
Yeah.
So this segment we call Ask a Cool Mom. And so I'm going to open it up. We can take like maybe like 2 questions for the sake of time. If you have a question, I'll come around. We'll reset. You can ask. And then we'll close out. Yeah, this has
Thank
been
you,
fab. We can clap it up for Synmia. Thank you so
No,
much.
clap it up for Elise. Girl.
I told all my business.
You sure did. Thank God. Because this is why we needed a second take. Because the first take was really polished.
I kept it cute.
And cute. Okay.
Oh, I didn't say it was doggy
we
style.
needed raw. Okay. We needed it to be raw.
Hi, I'm Jaywin. I have 2 kids and a wife, and I live in Los Angeles. And I'm I am a rapper, but right now I'm just a mom. So my comment is just that it's more so like to say that if it's any consolation for you, sometimes taking birth classes doesn't necessarily prepare you for exactly what you think is going to happen anyway. Like, just if it's any consolation, because like I took birth classes and read books. I read Ina May's Guide to Childbirth, and I took hypnobirthing and everything, and I still ended up in the hospital. Sometimes like doctors and nurses like just do what they want to do, and you just trust them anyway, even with the birthing classes, because they're the professionals, and then things go sideways. So, you know, I feel like the best like preparation you can have for birth is like having already had a baby, because then my second baby, like my first baby was in a hospital and it was terrible, and then my second baby I was like, I know exactly what to do now. So that's basically it. It's just a comment.
I love that. Yes, we are.
I mean, we'd be ready. It would go. It would go so different.
I am.
It would go so different.
Get pregnant.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. That just makes me feel better.
Hi, guys. My name's Charlene. I am Synmia's producer for Birthrights.
Yes.
My question for you, Elise, is how did becoming a mom inspire you in your career and to show up in like such a big way?
Yeah. Everything. It did this for me. It quite literally, I started Cool Moms because I was really self-absorbed. Because I was an artist living in New York and I was fun and it was in my 20s and blah, 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 blah. And I really wanted to, I knew that motherhood was going to look different for me than it did for my mother or my grandmother, because I was living a different life. And so I really sought out the perspective and advice from these women that I personally and professionally admired. They could just tell me how they were doing it. How do you do it? How do you be a bad bitch and be a mom? And so I think those conversations were like, they were the inception of Cool Moms. It allowed me to find my purpose and reaffirm my purpose. Because I had hosted shows before. I had done this sort of thing before, but in this way, I really felt like myself. And I think it also, motherhood really gave me the space to really hone in on my discernment. Like if it's not benefiting my higher self, my child, I don't need to do it.
Period.
And so it helped me say no better. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Thank you. I just want to thank Synmia and Birthrights, and thank you for joining me for such an amazing collaborative.
Don't look at me in the eyes, okay?
You are insane.
I'm just so emotional right now, you guys.
I appreciate you. I love you.
I appreciate you.
Okay, I'm not going to look at you because I'll cry. It's too much water energy up here. Thank you to everyone who continues to listen and support. And until next time.
Not like a regular mom. I'm a cool mom.